Well, it's time for the Aeroflow Power Tour. And this is where we get to cruise to the racetrack with a bunch of killer cars in tow. We're heading to Sydney Dragway to watch nostalgia drag racing. We all love tyre smoking action, and you're going to see plenty of it, believe me. I get to drive this beautiful Cobra here, so join me as we hit the highway. This is what I'm talking about. The sun's out, no roof, and we're heading to drag racing. Woo-hoo! Look what I found here, Chris Palazzo's Outlaw. I can't wait to hear this baby fire up. They tell me we're going for a bit of a cruise around the pits. I've found an XA two-door from hell, and it's owned by Josh Boscovich here. Josh, tell us about this machine. It screams.
Yeah, it's a 383 Cube Cleveland, inject on alcohol with nitrous oxide as well. It's one of the heavier cars in the bracket. There's certainly a lot more heavy cars than mine.
I noticed that she's an old school cast iron Clevo.
Yeah,
that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, cast iron Cleveland. I originally built the car, it's my street motor.
What sort of horsepower does she make?
It's making about 635. It can make a little bit more, but at the end of the day, it's my wallet that's going to go into it if it hurts itself.
So she's a good, solid, old school Clevo. Yeah. And what sort of numbers is running on the track?
The best we've gone with the nitrous is 898 at 147 mile an hour. On the motor, it was going 944, 140.
Well, she's certainly one very robust machine, a bulletproof combo, and you're doing a great job out there. It's a credit to you. Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Rick Gorsey, and he was actually the winner of Australia versus USA Challenge here last year in November. Mate, that was an amazing event, and it doesn't seem that Nitro Express or yourself has slowed down at all.
No, not at all. We're back on the quarter mile tracks now, which leading up to the November meeting, and yeah, it's back where it left, so it's actually going faster, which is really good.
And Lex, so you're constantly developing these cars, getting more speed out of them, making them more reliable so they put on a better show for the crowds.
GC's a legend at Nitro, and he's getting it right every time.
He's been doing it for a little while, hasn't he?
Yeah, just a little bit. Just a little bit.
I found an interesting machine here. We're with Jeremy Boscovich, the owner. Tell us all about this beast.
It was built in 2006. The engine actually came out of a 36 Ford delivery van. Didn't pull it apart, painted it black, put it in. Engine has not been out of the car since. It's good fun, cheap, and don't do nothing.
Fantastic. Now, the Flathead V8 is an iconic engine, isn't it?
Yeah.
Tell us what you've done to this engine.
Honestly, to the engine, nothing. I actually pulled the heads off when it was running 15.2s, and I went, I will knock 60 thou off each head, give it a bit of comp, locked the dizzy out, and it went from 15.2 to 14.6.
That's a big game with a bit of comp.
That's it. So over Christmas, we're going to pull it down, put a set of rings and bearings through it, and maybe slip a camshaft in it now. So
I mean, last time I was at Rocket Industries, I saw shelves and shelves of manifolds, cylinder heads, carb kits, triple carb kits, the whole lot. It's unreal.
Rocket's got a lot of stuff. When I put the twin carbies on it, I bought it all from there. So we have to step it up a little. At the moment, it's good because it doesn't turn tyre and it's consistent. So maybe I might leave it like that.
It sounds fantastic. Thanks so much for talking to us. Love the car.
Not a problem. Thank you.
For all you Holden six-cylinder fans out there, have I found the car for you? Brenton Holmes, tell us about this angry machine.
Yeah, Glenn built the car back in the late 90s. Took us 2.5 years to put together. Made the chassis myself, made the bodywork myself, built all the engines and components. We've run it with iron-headed Holden 6 motors on carburetors. We've run it with JZ aluminium-headed Holden 6s on carbies. And this new combination runs a JZ head, 471 GM supercharger, 2-port Hillborn injector with Endley 80A1 pump and an Endley K valve.
It's a serious bit of kit, mate. Tell us, what sort of power is this thing making?
643 horsepower, Glenn.
643 horsepower? That is insane.
643, mate. It's a 179 HP block with a 202 crank in it. And I always go for the uncounterweighted cranks. The rustier, the better. They're used to being that shape.
How do you get this thing to hold together?
It's a challenge. It really is. We're running billet aluminium conrods in it, forged pistons, full ARP stud kit on the bottom end, and a lot of clearances.
Unbelievable. What sort of times have you run on the car?
Glenn, we're testing the car out. We really haven't had a good run with the blown motor. We ran 841 at 156 off the trailer when we first built it. We followed that up with an 845 at 157. And, 2011, we lost a rear end and punched the wall about half track. And we're only just bringing it back to the track today to test it out.
Well, Brendan, all I can say is I can't wait to see this thing scream, mate. Get out there and give it heaps.
You and me both, mate. And I will.
We're back with Brenton Holmes in the pits in his angry little six-cylinder Holden. Brenton, what happened out there, mate? The thing was flying off the line.
Glenn, we had a fantastic launch. She went chasing the middle line, but not really a big drama. We managed to get it back. Got into high gear, felt all right. Then all of a sudden there was a real bad shudder in high gear. I thought maybe I missed the shift. I looked down and then all hell broke loose. Burst panel was out, fluid in the face. It was over, so I shut it down.
So that means terminal?
Too early to really tell, Glenn. Had a good look at the block. There's no holes in it. Burst panel's been knocked out of the front, but hey, we don't know, mate. We'll take it home, we'll have an assessment, and we'll be back.
Well, I was very impressed with the car, mate. All the best for next time. I look forward to seeing this thing back out on the track.
Too right, we're going after it, Glenn.
Well, here's a 34 three-window coupe I just had to look at with Jason Kiley, the owner. Give us a rundown, mate. This thing is absolutely spectacular.
Thanks very much, mate. Yeah, I brought it in from the States a couple of years ago and then completely rebuilt it from front to back. It's a 540 big block, 1471.
Any estimations on power levels?
Probably around 1200. I've never had it on engine dyno, so I wouldn't know for sure. But
What sort of numbers have you run in the car so far?
so far, it's only gone 8.1 at 165. But
What do you mean only?
Well,
That's fast.
hoping to get a bit more out of it. Yeah, a little bit more. But no, it's all good.
Well, Jason, thanks so much for talking to us. Love the car.
Thank you very much, mate.
Found a Mustang that will blow your socks off. It's owned by Rob Campisi here, and it's got a very serious power plant. Rob, give us a rundown on this car.
It's a 2004 Mustang, built here in Australia by SCF Race Cars. It's a carbon body, chrome moly chassis. It's runs a Hemi, but it's a billet Hemi, 670 cubic inches, twin turboed with a Lenko and a 9-inch behind it.
I noticed those huge snails hanging off the engine, mate. They are monster turbochargers.
Yeah, they're Garrett's. They're a set of 106s. It makes 4,000 horsepower. We've gone 6.0 on a soft tune with low boost. Hopefully it should run like somewhere 560s, 570s when it's sorted out.
Well, Rob, thanks for talking to us. Love the car.
Thank you very much.
We're with Jeff Wilson here and his Corvette door slammer, and she's certainly a very angry machine. Jeff, tell us about this car.
Yeah, thank you. Look, we've had it for 18 months. We unfortunately had a bit of a love tap with the wall 9 months ago, and it's effectively a new car. And since April, we've just been fine-tuning, getting faster and faster, and today we're fortunate enough to run a PB.
Well, she certainly looks like a wild ride on the track. She's all over the shop, mate. What sort of power is it making, and what sort of numbers are you running in the car?
Right at the moment, the best we've done is a 609, which was today at 239 mile an hour. As far as horsepower, these cars are expected, the rumour mill says around 3,000 to 3,500 horsepower.
I have found one of the most spectacular looking and angriest VC Valiants I have ever seen. Danny McDessie is the owner of this car. Danny, tell us all about it.
Mate, it is sure one wild pig, that thing, I tell you. That's a 521 cube Hemi. It's got a PSI on it. It's been like 15 to 18 years in the making. It's my third time in the car, 2 burnouts. It's my first full pass to run a 6.9. Mate, I'm over the moon. I'm stoked.
That is amazing. What sort of horsepower is it making?
It can make anything up to 3,000 horsepower. Mate, it's on 10.5s. It's all metal. Ain't no carbon fibre or plastic thing. Like, it's full metal, heavy duty car. You know, it's over 3,000 pounds. Mate, I'm stoked. Mate, there's no words that can describe how I feel.
That is a hell of an effort. And the thing I like about the car is the colour is magnificent. The car's immaculate, so well prepared. It's a credit to you. Look at Shane Oliver. Normally he's behind the wheel of a funny car, but this weekend you've been behind the wheel of a very special car, haven't you? Psycho 3, tell us about it.
Mate, what a car to drive. What a privilege to drive it, really. Graham and Wendy, you know, they ran this car back in the day, and after that last run, it was moving all over the racetrack, and I don't know how they done it back in the day.
Well, it's effectively a replica of the car that Graham Cowan ran in the day, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's a replica. It's cool.
So sit down, hang on, nail it, and go for the ride.
And steer it. You reckon you got to steer a funny car? These things are way worse. You need a forklift steering wheel on it to turn it.
Jeez. And what sort of numbers did it run?
The best it ran was a 7.1 at 202, I think it ran today, so it's still pretty fast for such a short wheelbase car, you know.
Knock on the door of a 6-second pass.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll bring it back out again sometime soon and go for that 6 again. So
Yeah, with the original Psycho, what sort of numbers did Graham actually run in the day? It wasn't hanging about back then, was it?
I think Graham ran back in the day a 750, but he ran 207 mile an hour on asphalt like this, so there was no traction. It was just run what you brung on a street, really.
So we're talking, what, over 40 years ago?
Probably, yeah.
The man is a legend, isn't he? He really is. He did the first 4-second pass in Australia, and you can see why he was so good at what he did. You know, that was his breeding ground.
It was, you know, like, just take a look at all the cars we got here today, and you know what? Every one of them went quicker each run, so...
You can't beat experience.
He's a genius.
Well, mate, thanks so much for talking to us. It's great to see you again.
No worries, take care.
Thanks for watching, and we'd really appreciate it if you'd like and comment on this video. Be sure to subscribe to our channel and click the notifications bell because there's a lot more content coming your way.